أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين Alhamdulillah.
Hazur says, Alhamdulillah, all praise belongs to Allah. That last Sunday, the Jalsa Salana of Jamaat Ahmadiyya Britain, by the grace of Allah, it concluded successfully. First of all, our heads are bowing towards Allah Almighty, and they should bow to Allah Almighty, that out of His sheer mercy and blessings, all the arrangements they were accomplished. And a true believer, his attitude should always be like that. Allah make it so that we always understand this point very well. Allah Almighty has begun the Holy Quran with this thing, that a true believer, he begins all his actions in the name of Allah, so that from the very beginning up to the end, the help of Allah Almighty should accompany him. And Allah Almighty at each and every moment should be remembered. The very verse in the Holy Quran, it begins with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which is the declaration of the fact that I, in the name of Allah, I begin reading this great book, which has for the sustenance of my life hereafter, in the hereafter, Allah Almighty has revealed this book. So this is the advice for a believer that in the beginning of everything should be made in the name of Allah with Bismillah, and then in the name of Allah Almighty, who is having two fundamental basic attributes. Those are mentioned. There are, after Bismillah, there are two attributes of Allah Almighty which are mentioned. One is Ar-Rahman and the other one is Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman means the one who rewards and gives the blessings immensely, abundantly, and again and again. This is the attribute of Rahmaniyat of Allah Almighty, which shows immense blessings and gives the grace and the bounties to Allah, which is which also creates such atmosphere for performing or doing certain deeds and enables people to make the arrangements which are not in the mind of anyone. Allah the Almighty so many attributes of Allah are there for His people. It shows the manifestation of this attribute of Rahmaniyat and shows those attributes as well. And then the quality of Rahimiyat is there, which from the general point of view of Rahmaniyat is particularly related to the servants of Allah. It shows its manifestation especially for them. A mu'min, a believer, when in order to get the blessing, help from Allah Almighty, when he submits to Allah and for the performance of all the deeds, and he is hoping to get the help and guidance from Allah, then Allah Almighty shows the manifestation of His support and guidance and help. And these manifestations that we were able to see during this last Jalsa, the manifestation of Rahmaniyat were also there, and the manifestation of Rahimiyat, they were also there, that we witnessed. And by observing that, we had a sentiment of gratefulness to Allah Almighty, and by the grace of Allah, we in this gratefulness and because of the fact that we try to become the grateful servant of Allah Almighty, on every occasion we also get the blessing from this promise of Allah Almighty, that la in shakartum la azidannakum, that if you are grateful, then Allah Almighty says, I will give you more. So during the days of the Jalsa, the blessings of Allah Almighty, looking at them, we were grateful for His bounties and we continued to submit to Him. And and some of the reservations and considerations that we had and apprehensions that we had, Allah Almighty removed all those by His grace, and with immense blessings and bounties all the arrangements they were made. So these blessings of Allah Almighty and the manifestation of Allah's Rahmaniyat and Rahimiyat, and to see that these manifestations, they continue, and this gratefulness is to be expressed all the time, continuously, that in search of the blessings and the bounties of Allah Almighty, we should continue striving that and seeking more and more blessings. Hazrat Masih Maud Wasallam says that both these attributes, Rahmaniyat and Rahimiyat, these are such that without them, no action of this world, maybe it's worldly or religious, it cannot be accomplished. He said that if you ponder, then you will understand that all the expeditions of this world, both these attributes, everywhere and at every time, at every moment, they are in action. The Rahmaniyat has been manifested since the time human beings were not created. So Rahmaniyat creates such a means for human beings which are beyond his power, and which he cannot get through any effort of his own or any attempt of his own. And similarly, the Rahimiyat, it comes into play and manifestation when a person gets all the abilities, then all these God-given faculties, he tries to activate these things for the blessing of Allah Almighty, and as far as it is possible, he spends all the energy. Then at that time, the tradition of Allah Almighty is continuing in this way, that he does not let his efforts go waste. Rather, all his efforts, they are given very fruits and blessings and the results. So this is Rahimiyat, which puts life into the dead efforts of a human being.
जलसे के कामों की मंसूबाबंदी
So, in all the plannings of the arrangements of Jalsa Salana and the effort of the workers and the improvement of the arrangements as a result of all that, these things, they always draw the attention of a believer to the blessing of Allah Almighty.
नूर के उम्दगी से
And instead of attributing all these successful accomplishment to himself, he describes it as the grace of Allah Almighty, and he tries to become a grateful servant of Allah.
और हकीकी
And in the true sense of the term, he wants to become the grateful servant. That is actually the gratefulness to Allah Almighty.
है वही हकीकी अब दशकूर बनाती है
Or you can say that the true gratefulness to Allah Almighty makes a person truly a grateful servant of Allah.
अगर तुम शुक्र
As I mentioned earlier on, that if you become grateful, then I will give you more.
और भी बहुत से मुकाम
Similarly, there are so many other occasions where Allah Almighty has mentioned on this subject of being grateful to Allah, that this is the distinction of the believers, that they are grateful to Allah Almighty always.
शुक्रगुजार नहीं
But non-believers, they are not grateful. In one place,
करते हुए
Allah Almighty mentioning His grace and mercy, He says that the ungratefulness of human being is mentioned in this way, that Inna Allaha lazu fazlin ala nase walakinna aksara nase la yashkurun. That certainly Allah Almighty, certainly Allah Almighty is most giving blessings to Allah Almighty, but most of the people are not grateful.
के बाद
So many blessings and bounties of Allah are there. The gratefulness as it is due, they are not mindful of discharging that gratefulness. This is the blessing of Allah Almighty, that in order to give the spiritual progress of human beings, He makes the arrangement, and also makes the arrangement for his worldly and physical improvement and progress. So a true believer, when he gets all these blessings coming to him, both kinds of blessings from Allah Almighty, then he becomes more and more firm in expressing his grateful to Allah Almighty. And the best way of expressing one's gratefulness to Allah Almighty is, according to the system which He has prescribed, is to worship Allah Almighty. And that is a point which should always be remembered by all believers, and to submit to Allah. And all the good results of one's action, they should always be attributed to Allah Almighty and to His grace and mercy. And these are the people who are called truly believers, those who with this thought, with this type of thinking, they continue in their life.
यही अल्लाह के नाम के साथ
These are the people who know the significance of starting everything in the name of Allah.
की सिफत रहमानियत
And
और रहीमियत
these are the people,
ज़रिया समझती
and they understand that the attribute of Rahmaniyat and Rahimiyat is the means of performing everything successful. And when the believers, they understand this point clearly, then there is no other way for him except to express his gratefulness to Allah Almighty by praising Him.
कुरान करीम में
And for hamd and praise, Allah Almighty has mentioned, has given us the right way of mentioning it.
एक मोमिन को
Allah Almighty has mentioned in Surah Al-Fatiha, Allah Almighty has explained that when you begin something in my name and you see the manifestation of my grace, then you announce
इबादतों को
uh,
में ताक हो जाओ और वहाँ फिर ये ऐलान करो
and become very active in your worship, and then announce it and declare it in 5 daily prayers and in each rakat of your prayer, and also in nawafil, and also in your prayers.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह रब्बिल आलमीन
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
और हम
That all praise and glorification that belongs to Allah Almighty, Lord of Universe, who has provided all these means for me. So therefore a mu'min, a believer, a true believer can only become a true gratefulness to Allah Almighty when he attributes all the blessings which he gets as a result of Rahmaniyat and Rahimiyat,
ताला के हुजूर
when he when he make him more submissive towards Allah Almighty.
इसमें पैदा होता है
The real perception of the hamd, the glorification is achieved by him. When a person says that Allah Almighty instead of instead of sana, the praise he has mentioned, all the praise as Allah Almighty has started with the hamd, not with sana and mada,
पर पूरी तरह हावी है
because hamd actually has the meaning of sana and the
आराइश
mada as well.
इनसे जायद
And because in that the further subject of beautification and glorification is also added into this one. So when we praise Allah Almighty, so it is not simply a grateful expression of the gratefulness, but that is actually a admission of the fact as well that Allah Almighty, out of His grace and mercy, He provided us the means,
कोशिश
and then our effort and whatever struggle that we made, and to whatever extent we did, He appreciated that, and accepting our prayers, He enabled us to have the fruits of that. And not only that much, that the blessings and the bounties, they were up to that degree, up to the degree to which we have done our efforts. But wherever there were some shortcomings or shortcoming in our prayers, in our efforts, Allah Almighty reforming that, Allah Almighty gave us the best and the most beautiful results were made to appear as a result of Allah Almighty. So the gratefulness to Allah Almighty is not like the ordinary gratefulness of one to another person, but praising Allah Almighty through glorification, and Allah Almighty removed our weaknesses and covering our shortcomings. Not only He covered that, but also rectifying those. Then He also enabled us to raise, He raised the standards of those efforts that we did. And so He made it so nice that through human efforts those results could not have been achieved, which Allah Almighty gave us as a result of those efforts. So when with this thinking we express our thanks and glorification of Allah Almighty, then Allah Almighty gives the glad tidings to those people that that this effort that you make to understand my gratefulness, my grace and mercy, and the results that you have achieved, and you attribute all those things to me, all the good results that you have achieved. So when the direction of your thinking is on this line, then Allah Almighty says that I bless those people. So this is the subject of the hamd and the praise of Allah Almighty. It is in relation to Allah's might and His powers, and this is what gives us the full understanding, and there is a need to always keep this point in mind. Then Huzur says that after gratefulness to Allah Almighty, expressing that, then regarding His praise, Allah Almighty has also drawn our attention to become grateful to one another as well. And this expression of gratefulness is the right of human beings. Everyone who has done anything for us, it is his right that we should express our thanks to those people. And this is the outstanding distinction of Ibadur Rahman, the servants of Rahman God. And the promised Messiah ﷺ has said that without discharging the rights towards the fellow beings, you cannot do justice to the rights towards Allah Almighty. The Holy Prophet ﷺ has said that the person, the one as a result of the beneficence done to him, the one the Holy Prophet ﷺ, who was at a point where he was able to pay back these goodness done to him, he says that the one who is not grateful to the human beings, he also is not able to express his gratefulness to Allah Almighty.
वसल्लम
So the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
जो कोई मामूली सा भी काम आपका करता था, आपकी खिदमत करता
when if anyone did a very small thing for him, he used to express his thanks to him profusely. This was his sentiment of gratefulness, with which he taking the consideration of the sentiments of the Ansar-e Medina, then he decided to stay in Medina, and he declared Medina as his second hometown.
और रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में भी आपके अनगिनत
And in his daily life, there are so many incidents of that nature which express his sentiments of gratefulness.
दूसरों को नवाज
And under these sentiments of gratefulness, we see that they are always showing their beneficence to other people. So the expression of these sentiments of gratefulness, this was one of the high point of his character of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
हर वक्त
And a mu'min should always follow him in that, and always keep that in his mind,
मैंने कहा
in front of his eyes.
अल्लाह के फजल से
As I said,
जलसे के
that by the grace of Allah,
काम
the all the arrangements of the Jalsa Salana, they have been performed successfully. And first and foremost, we are grateful to Allah Almighty for that, and at the same time, we are also grateful to all those people
अंजाम दही
who in performance of all these jobs, they worked hard day and night. And there are some workers of the Jalsa, those who have been performing Waqar Amal for several hours, for quite a few days before that. And they established a temporary city in Hadiqatul Mahdi. And still these Waqar Amals, they are continuing to take place. They have to lift up everything and to wind up the whole thing. They have to take care of the cleanliness. Although these marquees which are put up there, the companies, they dismantle it themselves, but still there is a lot of work of wind up which has to be which continues for several days. In any way, all these people, they deserve our thanks. And those who came to attend the Jalsa Salana, and the guests who came, they have to be grateful to all these workers. And the workers in other departments, they should be grateful to such workers, and they should be full of thanks for them. And so far as the non-Ahmadi guests are concerned, those who came from various other countries, they have especially expressed their thanks to me that they were taken care of very well, and their accommodation, their food, their transport, and all that, those people who were appointed at their service, all of them without exception of anyone, they have all praised abundantly, praised the workers. And this thing, like every time before, it has impressed them that those people who come from various walks of life, these workers coming from various walks of life, and they were performing their duties very diligently and beautifully. This year, one good thing about the Jalsa was that some people who are very expert in criticism, and always they pick up some fault and some weakness. In any way, Huzur says, in everything, you cannot have perfection in everything. So it is nice. The departments, they have to always get some guidance towards improving their own performance in future. I do not criticize these people pinpointing the faults and the weaknesses, because sometimes it gives the guidance as well. But the word of habit which I have used, that is for this reason that some people by nature, they are in the habit of criticism, and they make a sweeping statement, a general statement that of course some criticism will be right. So their habit also gives benefit to the administration. So anyway, I was saying that this year I haven't these people who have been criticizing generally, even those people have praised and appreciated, and they have written that in each department, as far as it was possible to improve in each and every department, their effort was seen there. And rather some those regarding the people wandering around and spending their time in gossip, even those people, they have written that this year the participation of the guests in Jalsa and their presence in those sessions and in their sincerity, there was a lot of improvement, and it was seen that they are paying attention to this one. And similarly in worship, in prayers and in remembrance of Allah, they also paid special attention. So this, therefore, the participants of the Jalsa are also, their thank is also due, that they, during this Jalsa, the objective of this Jalsa for which they came, they tried to accomplish that and fulfill that. And this was the purpose of the Jalsa, as I said, and always they should have done like that. May it be so that this reformation, this improvement in the people which was seen, that should be a permanent one. And then Jamaat Ahmadiyya, the various countries, the people in the Jamaat Ahmadiyya International, those Ahmadis, those who are in waiting for this Jalsa in UK, and also they come here and listen very carefully. And the Ahmadis, those who come, people generally are waiting for the Jalsa in Germany and UK. This witnessing the Jalsa and listening to it, this through MTA, this has become much easier. Otherwise, the Jamaats in Pakistan, because of the fact that they cannot hold their own Jalsa, the feelings of deprivation that has aggravated. But anyway, when through MTA, when the whole world they see and listen to the proceedings of the Jalsa, then MTA receives a lot of letters and emails and messages of thanks. MTA administration has mentioned that this year the messages have been come in so great number, and every year it comes, but this year the number has increased so much that it's difficult to reply. But thanks to all those people, those who have appreciated the workers of MTA. Apart from the direct message to MTA, I have also, people have been writing to me, congratulating me and thanks, and among them particularly, they have particularly mentioned about the workers of MTA, that please convey our salam, and also the sentiments of thanks should be conveyed to these people. MashaAllah, these workers, majority of whom, those who are working in MTA, they are volunteers, and for many years, in a very with steadfastness, they are working. All these people, they deserve our thanks. On behalf of Jamaat and on my personal behalf, I would like to thank all of them. Here in MTA International, the workers who are working here, apart from that, in big countries of the world, the workers of MTA are also working. I also thank them. And apart from that, there is a Jamaat website, alislam.org. It is well known with this name. They also show the Jalsa program, and they are also playing an important role. And lot of workers, volunteers, they are working there, and they spend many hours in that. From America, it's all it's arranged. Dr. Naseem Rahmatullah Sahib is in charge. He says that this year, so many people have used this facility that its service was a bit affected, and some people made a sort of expression that you have to further improve it. But anyway, it is for limited number of people, but this year large number of people have benefited from this facility. So the team of alislam.org, they should also think that how they can further enhance the standard of this performance, and so that maximum number of people can benefit from it. This year, from the point of view of security, there were several points of concern which Allah Almighty through His grace and mercy removed all these things, and these were not just imaginary worries, or not because of when there was any fear because of the incidents in Pakistan, but it was the real fear. There was one incident like that which indicates there was bad intention in that, those people who were involved in that, but because of the alertness of the security officers, Allah Almighty protected us from every harm and danger. So therefore all workers of the security department and the whole department which were further expanded this year, so all these people also deserve our thanks. Some workers might have only taken rest for a couple of hours, but most of the time they were on duty. The Hifazat and Khidmat Khalq, the general performance has been very good, as I have mentioned, but one or two incidents are such in which the Hifazat, the security, and Khidmat Khalq, because of some misunderstanding between the two, there were some people who suffered because of that. As I said, that this was because of the misunderstanding. For that, those people who have been affected by that, one or two families, it's apology to them. But under the pressure in which they were, these workers, under the situation they were working, and some of them, as I said, these people did not even had enough time to take rest. So in these circumstances, these small things do happen sometime. So it's my request that those people who have been affected by that, they should forgive these workers and should not take it so seriously. But anyway, in a general way, all these workers, they have exceptionally performed their duty very actively, and with great observance and diligence they have performed their duties, and more than my expectation, they have shown the sense of responsibility. The Khuddam, those who perform these duties at the time of Jalsa from UK, among them are those who are regularly performing these duties, not only the few days of Jalsi, those for the last 26 years they have been performing these duties. So with this reference, I would like to thank all of them, particularly those people in Masjid Fazl. With a spirit of dedication, they perform the duties 24 hours, and at the cost of their own jobs, and especially the members of the Halqa Masjid Fazl, they are performing these duties. May Allah bless all of them. This year, with reference to the security, we have seen great examples of from the people. One worker of Lajna, she said that she had to go to the so she went from outside, and there was no consideration of checking there. But when she came out of that marquee of men, then the Khadim said that you should get your bag checked. And the workers, the lady said that we are badge holders, we are workers, and we just went there and we are coming out. But he said that without checking your bags, I will not allow you to go outside. So then when asked that who asked you to go for this checking, and whether it was a special instruction for them, he simply said that he gave my reference to Huzur, that in khutbah Huzur said that even if the people of security they go out, they should also be checked. So this instruction is good enough for me, that I will not allow you to go without checking. Whether my officer directly he says this thing to me. So this was the feeling, this was the sentiment of the workers on duty. So that also reminded me of that incident that when once in Qadian, Hazrat Khalifat Masih Sani, it's something to do during his time when the Ahrar they tried to do some mischief in Qadian, and there was quite a serious danger, and special arrangements were made for security in Bahishti Maqbara, and the duties were appointed, and everybody was given a code without which you are not going to allow anyone. And in order to check that, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani himself at night time, he went there, he was stopped, and when he uttered his name, he said that, Hazur, I have recognized you, but my instruction is from you that without code I don't have to allow anyone, so without that you are not allowed to go in. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani praised that worker very much. It's a long incident. So if at the instruction of the Khalifa of the time, if the Khalifa of the time can himself be stopped, then stopping other workers is not something something very strange. Some new arrangements, when they are made, then the estimates are not right, and some weakness, shortcomings are there in their arrangements. And this year as well, the gates for the Jalsagah, because of the scanners, they were limited, and the ladies have to wait for a long time. The ladies have to wait for a long time. I have mentioned this in one of my sermon. So some people on duty, the ladies, they wrote to me that because of the rush and long waiting, and particularly the ladies and the small children, they had to wait for 2.5 hours, and because of the shortage of the shade, and they had to stand in sun. But the ladies with their children, very patiently they stood there and they waited there, and they waited for their turn and they stood in the queue, and no impatience and or unpleasantness or anger was not shown. The children were in distress, but with great patience they continued to look after them. And one lady worker says that looking at the condition of those ladies, I was just about to cry, because these ladies are in distress, because along with their children, and also because of the fact that these are the Ahmadi ladies and such children who have come to listen to Jalsa Salana, and just because of the they are showing this patience just because of the fact that their coming over here is for a religious purpose. So anyway, some workers, lady workers, looking at that, they can continue to cry, but they couldn't do anything, because the performance of their duty was good, was required from them, although the improvement improved later on, and the incident of the first day did not occur after that. This thing only happened at the time of Jummah. So the administration, they are apologizing to those ladies with small children and also grateful to them. This thing, this has also made it clear the patience and the steadfastness of the ladies, and it has shown that they do have this quality in them, because of this, if the ladies might have expressed their lack of patience, then the whole arrangement could have been disturbed. This system of entry, the success of that is because of the cooperation of the participants of the Jalsa, and for that again the subject of Hamd comes to our mind, that it is Allah Almighty who always preserve this point in their mind, that they have to give sacrifice for the sake of Jamaat. And the non-Ahmadi guests, they have also noted this one, that the queue was very calm and quiet, which is very unusual and very rare. And also in other departments, by the grace of Allah, the help of Allah was clearly witnessed. The transport department is there. Last year the arrangement was good, but this year the arrangement was much better. The Langar Khana department is there. The cooking and the feeding, arrangements were very good, and other departments as well. All the departments, they deserve thanks. Allah Almighty increase them in their devotion and their loyalty. And the police as well, after Jalsa, they have told our administration that with an extraordinary peace the arrangements were there. That is also an example for us. And the Government Department of Health and Safety has also last year, because of their regulations, they put certain restrictions upon us, and this year not only this much, that the previous weaknesses have been removed, but the Department of Health and Safety has told the administration that your job was so exemplary that the overall report of our department, we are going to present this example for others. So this is the blessing of Allah Almighty. These are not our efforts. This is the blessing of Allah Almighty, that all these relevant people, they have also paying attention to us. So our eyes, our thought is always towards Allah Almighty, always towards Allah, and it should be like that. And we glorify Allah Almighty, who out of His blessings, He is covering our shortcomings and also producing the good results. And He is also frustrating the designs of the enemies. We are grateful to Allah that He is under His special care and under His special succor and help. He has enabled the workers of this department to discharge their responsibilities. As I said, that all the participants of the Jalsa and the viewers through the MTA, they have seen the blessings of Allah Almighty descending like rain during the days of Jalsa. Allah Almighty continue to increase His blessings and bounties upon us, and we continue to, and the good expectation that the promised Messiah ﷺ has mentioned about us, we are always able to come up to that standard. He says that all this progress and the reformation and improvement is there in the Jamaat. That is not to be seen elsewhere in any community. So this in progress and the improvement, we have to further improve it. And we have to become really the glorifying people, so that the blessings of Allah Almighty should descend upon us more than ever before. Allah Almighty enable us to do so. A sad news is there which I have to mention today. Respected Mustafa Sabit Sahib, who was Egyptian born Ahmadi, he has passed away yesterday. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. His namaz-e-janaza will be perhaps led on Monday, but some particulars about him I would like to present here. He was born in 36 in Egypt, in February 36. So accordingly his age was 74 approximately. He was Musi. Since 71 he was in Canada. In 55 he did his Bai'at. The details of that are quite very many. Tahir Nadeem Sahib, who is writing in Al-Fazl, who is introducing him, he has mentioned all that in detail. One of his son and daughter is there. Mustafa Sabit Sahib, the first wife passed away and then he married for the second time. He has been working in an oil company and the Jamaat offices which he had in Canada. He was National Secretary Tabligh. In 85 he was the chairman of the International Committee. With special zeal and dedication for Jamaat service he had, and prepared audio and video cassettes for the Arabs. He has produced a lot of material for MTA and several programs have already been aired. He was very advanced in financial sacrifices and very huge amounts he has offered for the sake of the Jamaat. Regarding him, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi has mentioned that once I calculated, then he gives us 70% of his income in Chanda, in contribution. He was very much advanced in this financial contributions. For the printing press in Markaz, he spent a lot of money. In Egypt, for the Darut Tabligh he sacrificed, and many books he has written. There is a book in Arabic Ajwaban al-Iman is another book. Al-Islam ad-Din al-Hayy, and Mu'jiza Falkiya, Siratul Mutahhara, Dalail Sidqul Anbiya. These are the names of the various books which he has written. And also one book of Hazrat Chaudhry Zafrullah Khan Sahib regarding Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal. He has also translated that into Arabic. The book of Khalifatul Masih Revelation, the book Revelation and Rationality, he has translated into Arabic. 5-volume commentary of the Holy Quran. He translated the first volume in 2003. He brought the manuscript to me, I remember. And at that time he was ill. So Allah, he prayed that he may be able to accomplish that. Allah Almighty enabled him to do so, and in 4 or 5 perhaps it was published. And similarly, the Bacha, the introduction translation was also done. Introduction to the Holy Quran. To the Holy Quran he translated, although some other people also joined along with him. He used to deliver good speeches at Jalsa. He used to take part in every appeal. First time I saw him in 1984. Perhaps he went to Ghana at that time at the instruction of Khalifatul Masih Rabe. And in Ghana, some non-Ahmadis had thought that there is no Arab who is an Ahmadi. So then he was sent by Khalifatul Masih Rabe that you should go and you go to those Muslims where Arabs have got more influence. So you go and meet there. So by the grace of Allah, he had good opportunity of doing tabligh over there. And after that, in 84, when Hazrat Khalifatul Masih migrated here, he also came here, and he did the work of writing and printing. And he went through a difficult phase as well, but he was with great devotion and loyalty. He spent the time and he showed that, and Allah Almighty also rewarded him abundantly. Now that when he was very serious for last 6-7 months, then he continued writing to me that whatever time is remaining, I would like to spend that time close to me. I said to him that you come. He came over here. When he was staying in the guest house, and he was very seriously, I thought that I will go and inquire about him. He somehow came to know. Then he came very hurriedly. He came out of his room and he reached my office. And when I asked him that I was coming, but he said, no, I have come myself to see you. A few days back, when he was in hospital, he was admitted in hospital, and then his sickness aggravated, and finally he passed away. The programs in Arabic, Al-Hiwar al-Mubashir, he had a special role in that program. And he has really discharged the full right of this and did full justice to this one. And the breaking of the cross and other subjects he has, and he had a good knowledge of the Bible, and therefore the big Christian scholars and priests, they respected him very much. He was suffering from cancer, but with great patience he spent all the time, and until the last moments he continued to serve the Jamaat and continued to he did not disclose it to his friends that how serious was his sickness. Allah Almighty may raise his status and position. Inshallah Ta'ala, as I said, on Monday, most probably his janazah will be held. His children have to come, one son and one daughter.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر.
بسم